My name is Holly Olmstead, and I've been working with Arlene for the past 9 years or so with doTERRA, and I'm so grateful for her guidance in helping me. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Some of you on the previous call has heard a little bit why I am here and why doTERRA and the mission of doTERRA is so passionate for me. I think each one of you probably came here for a similar reason. You're looking for more information, or you're having some struggles with sleep. So just by the raise your hand, click on your hand reaction. How many of you wish you could have better sleep?
I am.
Most of us, right? I see a couple of you figured out the thumb emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna see anybody because somebody's
Down there in the bottom in reactions, there's something you can react with, and it's fun to be able to stay connected. So, okay, that was a good trial run, and now I'm going to share my screen with you. But as soon as Arlene gives me that ability to do that. So when she shares that, Arlene, are you back yet? Oh, hopefully she didn't mute me.
I'm not, no, I'm just trying to figure out how to, okay, there we go. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
There we go.
Okay. So what we want to do is we want to talk about technology. Is amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Especially when I can make it work properly. Okay. That's not what I want. All right, you guys see my blue screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. How many of you feel that sleep is the most important activity of the day?
Me. I'm agree with that.
Yep, thumbs up. Thank you. I think that we underestimate the power of sleep, right? We kind of wear this badge on our shoulders sometimes that like, oh, I'm fine. I go to bed at 1 and I get up at 5 and I've been fine for a long time. Well, statistics don't tell us that's the case, okay? So I'd like you to answer these questions to yourself and take a little rate of how your sleep is doing. I'm going to give you just a second to read through those.
Oh, here.
Ah.
All right, how many of you answered true to at least half of those? Give me a thumbs up.
Oh, got it. How'd you get it?
It was weird. I just X'd out of everything.
Oh, yeah. That one was
So 1 of you, 2 of you. The rest
Me
of you
too.
have really good sleep going on?
I have trouble
Okay.
with 3 of those, so 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Okay, good. So you're below average then. That means you don't have as much as much trouble sleeping as a majority of people. So often people actually over many polls of people have at least half of these symptoms when they're struggling to sleep. But we're going to talk about why. So here's some misconceptions of sleep. A lot of times people feel like they can't make it through the day or the afternoon because they're so tired, so they stimulate their bodies, right? How many teenagers do you know are stimulating their bodies nonstop with these energy drinks and stuff, and maybe adults as well? So these stimulants are not designed to work naturally through the body. Most of them create spikes in the body, and when we have spikes, we have drops, right? And so when these stimulants push through our body, we don't sleep. Now, I got a lot of this first information from a University of Austin, Texas, their health center. And they talked about how many college students and how many adults are not getting enough sleep and what that is doing to their bodies. And these are the misconceptions of what people think are going to help them sleep. So alcohol is one of those things that people think, well, it doesn't affect me, or if I take a little drink of wine before I go to bed, I sleep really well. You might for a little time, but statistics show that you're not going to have good sleep. And that's what we want to talk about tonight. We need to make sure that we have good, restful, regenerating sleep. Everybody understand that? Good with that?
Mhm.
Give me a thumbs up.
All right. I was
Awesome.
doing this for fun.
All right, so take a look at this and think, is it really possible that you can catch up on your sleep on the weekends?
No.
It's not. Is it really possible that if you stay up super late at night and get up early in the morning, that your body's going to work just fine and just as well the next day?
No.
It's not, okay? So there's a lot of misconceptions about sleep, and we want to make sure that we're addressing those so that we can get good sleep. So this is what should happen when you sleep. As your body is resting, and it's designed to rest with a system, right? The circadian rhythms of the earth and the nature are part of what your body does. It is designed to create natural chemistry that helps your body relax and go to sleep when the sun goes down and the earth moves, and to naturally wake up when the sun comes up and the earth moves. So this is a standard rhythm that has been throughout the ages of when it's wintertime, you actually get more sleep because there's more darkness. And when it's summertime, you actually get less sleep because of the light. And it's just, if you think about farmers or nature, even New Zealand, maybe you notice this over in New Zealand, that you can actually have a more productive day when there's more daylight. And they have a lot of struggles with places like Alaska and places that have a lot of darkness. They really struggle with their circadian rhythm, their rhythm of sleep. So what is happening in your body when you sleep? The memories of that day are consolidated and stored. And these are really important for your learning process. If you are not having good memory, if you're not having good emotions, that has a lot to do with your circle of sleep. Your ability to concentrate and pay attention is restored. So when you don't give your brain that rest, that body that rest, you're going to have a much harder time really focusing the next day and being able to mentally process things. Same with your muscles. When your muscles don't get solid, deep rest, they are not going to recover, and you're going to be much more sore and have much more pain when you're not getting good sleep. Are you guys seeing why sleep is so important?
Yes.
Yes.
Here's one that really gets me. If I'm not getting enough sleep, my metabolism slows down. That's when your digestion and your metabolism re-regulates. And that is how you maintain a healthy weight. The average person that gets less than 6 hours of sleep a night gains about 12 pounds a year. That's just an average. Now, there might be some people who just stay up all night and they have stimulants all the time and they're really skinny. That's not typical, okay? But just if you're struggling in that department, it might have something to do with sleep. And last but not least, mental health is maintained better and emotions are maintained better when you have good sleep. Now, there's a balance in there when we talk about mental health and emotional health. People who sleep too long also are struggling with depression, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But a good amount of sleep, how many hours would you say an adult hours, how many hours does an adult need for good sleep, of good sleep?
At least 8.
8?
I don't know. I guess.
Okay. So that's a really common number, right? So most people, once they reach an adulthood, if they have at least 7 hours of solid sleep, they maintain a very good, healthy balance. Okay. If they're sleeping more than 9 hours, there's usually something else wrong. So it's between 7 and 9, and you were right on it, Elizabeth. 8 is the middle number there. So between 7 and 9 hours is what an adult. What about a child?
It depends on the age. The age, you know.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk about a school-age child.
8 hours.
Somewhere between 10 and 12 hours, right? They need, because their body is still growing, they're still functioning, all these neurons have to process. So they need more sleep in order to have good function. So what happens if we don't get good sleep? Now, I would love for you to type in the chat box, and I can't monitor the chat box while I am on share screen. So Wendy, can I ask you to do that? Thank you. If there's any questions or comments, let us know, okay? All right, so in your chat box, I would love you to share with me, what is your experience, or what is your symptom, if you want to call it that, when you're not getting enough good sleep?
I have a question. How do I see the chat line? Because I don't see it here.
If you move your cursor on your computer down to the bottom, it should pop up.
It's a smartphone.
Then you might have to swipe to the side. I'm not sure how your phone functions.
Okay, I will try to do it. See.
On my phone, I swipe it to the side.
Oh, I got it. I found
Okay,
it.
awesome.
Okay, Holly. So the academic says his attitude is affected. Pauline says she's irritable. Ruth Ann, fatigue and slower thinking. Jacqueline's tired and fatigued. No focus. I would say I get anxious.
So did you notice that most of them talked about some sort of an emotion? Isn't that interesting? Now, fatigue, right? That's also part of it. But it has a lot to do with our brain function. And then when you're not getting enough good sleep, your judgment and concentration are impaired. Your judgment. Are you able to make good common sense decisions when you're not getting enough good sleep? Think of all those teenagers who are not getting enough sleep. What kind of good decisions sometimes are they making?
No good.
When we release more appetite stimulating hormones from not getting enough sleep, of course that results in weight gain, but that stimulates the cortisol in our bodies. That stimulates that anxious feeling that Wendy talked about. That's where it comes from, because it's not getting good rest. Your adrenal glands don't shut down. They're overstimulated. And then you can't sleep, right? So there's a lot of different reasons why this circle and the bed routines are really important, that we're going to get there in just a minute, about how to create a healthy, natural bed routine or sleep routine. Your immune system is suppressed. Have you ever felt like I didn't get enough sleep and the next day you started feeling like your tonsils were starting to swell up? Okay.
Yeah.
It's true. Your body is more at risk when you're not getting enough sleep. Your emotions, as we talked about, are heightened. Most of you recognize that. I am the worst. If I don't get enough sleep, I am snappy, I'm irritable, and I have to do everything I can to say something nice. And so my husband's like, oh, she needs some sleep. So anybody else like that, give me a thumbs up so I'm not feeling alone. Thanks, Lee. We got to get enough sleep, right, Candy, Arlene? So we can be nice, and that really helps. All right. And our reaction is slower. So that's when more people actually get into accidents and make bad decisions about their life. And so we want to help that improve because our society is at a very, very heightened stress time. And we need to make sure that we're taking care of our bodies and getting enough sleep. Sound good?
Yes.
All right, so here's some ABCs of sleep that the University of Texas talked about. And these are just some guidelines to help you recognize about the best type of sleep you can get. So you want to avoid or minimize the use of stimulants and depressants such as caffeine, nicotine, sugar, alcohol. These disrupt your normal sleep cycles. B, beds are only for sleep and for intimacy. Avoid studying, watching TV, or using other technology in bed. How many of you are guilty of having your phone in bed?
Yes.
That is one of the worst things we can be doing, guys. Isn't that just the saddest thing? But it's reality. Unfortunately, if we want the best sleep, we need to fix that. All right. Can I have somebody else who would like to read? Read C for me.
I'll read it, Holly.
Thanks.
Cue your body to sleep with a dark, comfortable, relaxing, and quiet environment. Try using an eye mask, earplugs, a noise machine, essential oils, or a small fan to set the perfect atmosphere.
Now, I was super excited when I read this because they are recognizing the power of essential oils at the University of Texas. And so we're gonna come to that solution. But how many of you use some of these tools?
Yes. Yeah.
So knowing what you have, excellent. Knowing what you have available to help you create an environment. So in my model of bed routines, I have 3 T's: technology, temperature, and tension. If this helps you, just think about this. When I'm getting ready for bed, what is my technology doing? What is the temperature? And what kind of tensions are creating in my environment? And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I want you to be thinking about how sleep can be affected by your bedroom environment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
does anybody else want to read in D?
Sure, I'll
Okay.
read.
Thanks, Pauline.
Don't stay in bed tossing and turning more than 30 minutes. Get out of bed and try a relaxing activity like yoga or light stretching, reading or meditating, and returning to bed.
This is not get on your phone or get on your computer. This is reading from a book, okay? So that can calm the mind. Excellent. Jacqueline, do you want to read E for us?
Yeah. Exercise regularly, but avoid working out in the 3 hours before bedtime, as hormones secreted during a moderate, rigorous workout can increase alertness.
Excellent. And F?
Friends can wait. Don't stay up if you don't want to.
You know what? Friends and family right? A lot of times we're like, I have to stay up because of this or that, get the dishes done, whatever it is. You have to set your own boundaries. I remember when I had teenagers and I said, I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock so I can be a nice mom. But your curfew is midnight. So you better come in and tell me that you got home so I don't worry about you all night long, right? But they know I'm going to bed. So just set your own boundaries so that you can make sure that happens. Anybody else want to read it? G?
Get 7 to 9 hours per night and supplement with 20 to 30-minute naps before 4 p.m. to stay refreshed.
Okay. If you need to take a nap during the day because you're not quite there yet, because you're not taking your lifelong vitality, 20-minute naps are maximum. Sometimes people are like, oh, I need a nap, and they go and they lay down for an hour and a half and they feel worse, okay? 20-minute naps have been shown to be a very effective time. Set your timer and try it, because I've done this over and over again, and when I hit 20 minutes, I always wake up with energy. If I do it past that, I'm more tired than when I lay down for a nap. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But if you're getting enough sleep and you're getting good nutrition, which we'll talk about in a minute, you shouldn't have that problem. Okay, hydrate with 64 ounces of non-alcoholic, non-caffeinated fluids. Initiate a regular bedtime routine. Make sure you're setting a schedule so that your body knows when to cycle into sleep and when to cycle out. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock and you get up at 6 o'clock every morning, your body will start to naturally do that. How many of you have to use an alarm to wake up? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, if you're waking up naturally, excellent. If you're using an alarm, that means that your body's not getting enough rest. So, good note. Okay, initiate a regular bedtime, jumpstart your day at the same time, and keep your phone out of your bedroom. Okay. Oops, let's see. My screen is doing its own thing.
Uh-oh.
Now, I'm missing some slides in here somewhere. So here are the typical sleep aids, right? Most people are that we know are like, well, if I can't sleep, I need to go get something, because you do need to sleep. Unfortunately, most of these sleep aids have what? Wendy, say it louder.
Caffeine.
They have stimulants, but they also have side effects, right? Here's our little cheat down here. They have side effects. And some of the most common side effects from these are prolonged drowsiness. So you're more tired during the day when you use them, right?
It's true.
You actually have more tension, so you get more headaches, muscle aches, constipation, dry mouth, trouble concentrating. All the exact things that you shouldn't be getting if you get enough good sleep. Dizziness, unsteadiness. In addition to that, they have the possibility of having an intolerance or a dependency or an interaction to these chemistries. So these are not good options, and that's why you're here, because I know you're looking for a natural solution. So doTERRA has those solutions for you. Let me share with you, and I'm assuming that most of you here already have a doTERRA account. If you're not a wholesale customer of doTERRA, I highly recommend that you get one started, get back together with the person who brought you here, and get one started, because you're going to want these sleep aids that we're going to share with you. So the next share screen is going to be doTERRA's website. So if you have been to doTERRA.com under Discover, Can you guys see this?
Mhm.
Okay. Under Discover is product education. And under product education is Discover Solutions. And under Discover Solutions, there's wellness topics. You see this? So every body system works together. When we don't get enough sleep, it affects other body systems. When we don't get enough good digestion, it affects other body systems. So all of these topics intermingle, right? But we're going to just particularly talk about sleep. And in the sleep, you can talk about a bedtime for kids. So I'm not going to do that one right now. You can go back to that one. A bedtime routine and waking up with essential oils. We've talked about a bedtime routine, right? Maintaining a bedtime routine is really, really important. So getting a good night's rest.
Sleep is fuel, and you need a full night of it to compete at your best. It's also one of the most important components of recovery, especially after spending lots of time on the court. Adequate rest can improve performance and overall health. Not to mention, you're much more likely to wake up when the alarm goes off feeling re-energized and ready to push yourself. Diffuse calming oils during your bedtime routine like Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, sandalwood, vetiver, or doTERRA Serenity Restful Blend. These essential oils will promote feelings of relaxation and will help you create a peaceful sleep space. You could also mix a few drops of lavender in a spray bottle and spray it onto your pillowcase and bed sheets, or apply it topically to the back of your neck and the soles of your feet before turning out the lights.
Did you guys get some good ideas there?
Mhm.
Now, doTERRA has a lot of great research and solutions. So every time you can, you're looking for a solution, come to their website. You're going to find a lot of different things and videos made. Any questions about that and why those oils? Okay, let's talk about, again, and we're going to watch another video, why doTERRA feels that it's important to sleep. We've talked some about this.
Hi, my name is Dr. Heather Pickett, and I am so excited to be here. I am the medical director for the new doTERRA Employee Clinic here in Pleasant Grove, Utah, and the soon-to-open Prime Meridian Health Clinic. So today, I get to talk to you about two of my favorite oils. In fact, two of the reasons that I got interested in essential oils in the first place. So let's first talk about Serenity. This used to be called the Calming Blend, and now it's called the Restful Blend because they gave it an additional boost to what it can do using vetiver, which is a phenomenal individual oil. So this blend is very influential for lessening feelings of tension, calming emotions, but most importantly, which is what I love, is potentially giving you a restful sleep. So the way they've combined the beautiful oils of lavender and hoe wood and lang lang and marjoram and Roman chamomile and vetiver, vanilla bean, absolute, and Hawaiian sandalwood has given us this warm, floral, herbal aroma. And this combination can really help with your sleep. So I love this blend because I can use it, my family can use it, children can use it, moms can use it on their babies. If you dilute it, and a little bit goes a long way. So I find a lot of folks haven't really tried it to help with any sleeping difficulties. And when they do, they're really amazed at how well it works. So I love that we can do a trifold approach with this oil in addition to our Serenity Restful Complex gels, soft gels that have a great combination of ingredients that can also give you a restful sleep. So the trifold approach is aromatic, topical, and internal. So first of all, I recommend internal usage by 1 to 2 Serenity soft gels about an hour before you go to bed. And sometimes it can take a couple of days for it to start working, what I've seen. And just have that as a start, and then you can use it aromatically and topically. So aromatically, if you put 4 to 6 drops in the diffuser right next to your bed, and just have that on throughout the night. I like the Lumo diffuser because that can go 10 hours off and on throughout the night. And then we put it on topically. So you can put it on at the base of the skull, on your pulse points, on your wrists, over your heart. And I really love microsystems. I love the fact that the body can express itself in other places, for example, on the hand or on the ears or on the bottom of the feet. So I like to have people put it on their big toe or on their thumb because those are representative of the brain area of our body. You can also put it on the ball of the feet because that is the heart and lung area, and that's your parasympathetic nervous system that can help kind of down-regulate after a stressful day. The great thing about this combination is that it can just be part of a regular regimen for your sleep. I bring it all the time whenever I'm traveling. And whenever I'm in other countries, anywhere, it can really just help you keep a good sleep regimen. And we know that sleep hygiene is so important these days because we live in a 24-hour society. We have constant screen time, there's constant activity, there's constant lights. So having these oils to help out with it can make a huge difference. So if you haven't tried Serenity, try it now. This is really amazing. All right, so now I want to talk about balance. This is another one of my main go-tos. Like I said, these two I bring with me all the time, have them all the time in my house. My kids use them. Balance is actually one of the oils that I was first introduced to. And what I found was that it was such a beautiful aroma and it was so persistent. The way that it just was very grounding and calming, but also that beautiful aroma kind of lingered. I noted that it wasn't just great and then went away really quickly. So I just started using it regularly on the bottoms of my feet. And Balance has this great combination of oils that includes spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, resin, blue chamomile, blue tansy, and osmanthus. The aroma is beautiful. It is airy, it's fresh, it's sweet. It just helps you to start your day. That's what I've done with it. So the other name for it is grounding blend, and that's really what it does. If you look at the combination of oils that are in it, these oils come from plants that in nature are very grounding. The deep roots that are involved with frankincense, the trees, spruce tree, if you've ever seen the feeling that you have when you're walking, or felt the feeling you've had that you're walking through a forest, this blend provides that. So I also do a lot of Chinese medicine, and a big part of Chinese medicine is the yin and the yang, the balance, the homeostasis of the body. And this really provides a good baseline for that. So putting them on in the morning, much like I talked about with the Serenity, on the big toe, so it's working on the brain, and on the ball of the foot. So it's just kind of calming and balancing, can be a great start to the day. And I've definitely noticed times when I've not put it on and the day just felt a little more off. And one thing I would say is that people notice if they are especially sensitive to the oils. Of course, when you're applying anything topically, you may need to add a little bit of extra carrier oil. This does have fractionated coconut oil in it, but it may be too calming and too sedating, so that if you're using Serenity or Balance during the day a lot, you may really want to feel like you go to sleep or you're very relaxed. So kind of watch how you do with that, because they can be so effective. In addition, you can use that as a diffusing oil during the day, if you're in a really tense environment, or at night as well. The big reminder about the two of these blends is that neither one of these actual blends in the bottle are to be taken internally. They're only for topical and aromatic application. But I hope you all are able to get a hold of these and use them.
All right, do you guys find some good tips in there?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different reasons and ways that you can get good sleep at night, right? You see creating your environment, setting up a time frame, reducing technology. Remember the 3 T's. Temperature is really important. The cooler it is, the better you can sleep. Your technology should be put away at least 30 minutes prior to sleeping. And any tension, whether it's a crazy busy schedule or a busy bedroom or an emotion that you haven't resolved, those are all going to attribute to your sleep and what's going to go on in that brain. So I would like to hear from you now. How many of you have experimented with essential oils and doTERRA's products for sleeping? How many of you have found some success or not success? I'd like to hear from you.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I really like Peace in the diffuser at night.
Peace. That's a blend that's really very calming as well. Excellent. Anybody else have a favorite?
Holly, I would say vetiver.
Vetiver is also a very grounding, very calming. Excellent. If you notice right here on the list of essential oils that are helpful for sleep, you have vetiver, you have cedarwood, you have lavender, petitgrain. You know what petitgrain is? It comes from the leaf of the citrus. Serenity blend is in this capsule form, or it's also in a liquid form. You can also put it in a roller bottle. And those are really, really excellent and very common ways for people to use. But I'm going to tell you one trick that I accidentally discovered that has been really effective for me. It is the copaiba oil. Now this is designed for neurological support. And I was using it for other reasons at nighttime, dropping 2 drops underneath my tongue and not even realizing it. Those were my best nights of sleep because I have a brain that won't shut off. Does anybody else have that problem? Give me a thumbs up. That is just one of those things, right? When we're busy moms or busy business people, business working, we have a struggle to turn off our brains. So copaiba really supports the neurological effects of the brain. And I've had it to really calm my body so that I can get a good deep sleep. Anybody else have something they want to suggest before we end this call tonight?
Ruth Ann made a good comment. She said she knocked out her husband last night with magnolia, vetiver, and cedarwood.
Magnolia, vetiver, and cedarwood. Was that in a diffuser?
I don't know. Tell us, Ruth Ann, how do you use it?
It was topical.
Topically.
So just on the usual spots, the foot, the toe, the neck, the pillow, inhaling it.
Wow.
Awesome. So here's the most important part. You can't really do it wrong, okay? As you're learning to use essential oils, we really only have one rule. Open a bottle. Because if you pick an oil that is grounding out of any of those oils, right, whatever you have available, lavender, vetiver, cedarwood, it's going to help the body calm. And the best part is it doesn't put you to sleep. It gives your body the natural chemistry to put itself to sleep. It's not a narcotic. You can't be addicted to it. You can't be stuck on it. It's only supporting what your body naturally does already. Isn't that a beautiful option to those other sleep aids?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you to have the tools in your home that are going to work for you. Maybe start with Serenity because it's a beautiful smell, and balance as the doctor suggested. Maybe you're going to set up a routine in your home now that says, okay, all the technology is going off at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night because we're going to be in bed, including ourselves, and your phone is going to be in the bathroom. Whatever it is, maybe it's drinking a large glass of water before you go to bed, an hour before you go to bed, so that your cells are hydrated and your brain functions better. So take a look at some of those solutions that doTERRA offers on their doTERRA.com, discover natural solutions, right? And look for those. And I will encourage you to create your own sleep routine tonight and see if it works for you. And if that can be something better, because who would really like to have better sleep and better benefits of health?
Everybody.
That's why we're here, right?
Yes.
So make it happen. Go out and make the world a better place because you're a better person. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I actually can say I love you for being here. Even if I don't know you that well, I love that we bring people together who are like-minded and are going to help make our communities a better place. Have a good night.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Thank you for the class.
Thank you, Holly.
You're welcome.